Uh, Good afternoon. My name is Oloruntobi Jeremiah Ayobami, the lecturer in charge of this course, Post 543, titled Politics of Underdevelopment, from the Department of Political Science. What we need to know, first and foremost, is the background to the study of the course Underdevelopment. As a learner, you must be able to acquaint yourself with the background to the study of the politics of underdevelopment. So this will make you to actually know what you are going to meet under study section 1, which will now be the conceptualization of development and underdevelopment, and for us to know the variables that constitute development and underdevelopment, and in which continent of the world do we have development and underdevelopment. So the background to the study will give an exposition to the study session 1, which we are going to meet. And furthermore, this course intends, that is, to uncover diverse standpoints inherent in the understanding of the concept of underdevelopment and various contrivances that have ensured, underdevelopment and replication of this, conundrum in our contemporary, world. For example, you begin to wonder why, some countries are poor and why some countries are rich. I think your guess is as good as mine. It is also applicable to individuals. While we have some individuals that are rich, we have some individuals that are poor. So it's also applicable to nations of the world. In this case, the course also, will examine the political trajectory of the Nigerian state, because it is said charity begins, at home. When we say Africa is underdeveloped, Nigeria is not an exception, since Nigeria is located within the context of Africa, and also is located within the context of the third world. That is a third world country which is faced with the challenge of underdevelopment. That is African, Asian, they are all regarded as a third, world continent. And the course begins with a conceptualization of the term development and underdevelopment, and consequently introduce to the learners theoretical lining of the concept of underdevelopment. What are the theoretical lining of underdevelopment? Modernization and dependency theories, which we are going to elaborate more in the subsequent study sessions. And also, before analyzing the structures of colonial paradox, the impact of international organizations on the African development and other domestic and global factors that have undermined African quest for development. You will agree with me that Africa has been in the quest for development, in which Nigeria is not an exemption. And you and I will agree that truly development exists and underdevelopment exists. too. But it is said that development exists in the developed countries of the world, or we call them the first world or technologically advanced world, and also underdevelopment takes place in underdeveloped countries or continent of the world, in which Africa is part and integral of underdeveloped countries. So under this conceptualization, we go to the concept of development. First and foremost, development means the change of economies from simple form of organization and production to complex modern ones. Furthermore, the term development can be conceived in diverse perspectives. Diverse perspective means that in different angle, different views. That is, there is no universally acceptable concept of development. That is, development can be viewed from various forms. It can be viewed from economic, it can be viewed from political, it can be viewed from social, and what have you. And also, development can also be seen from socio-cultural, political, and economic. Development is a multidimensional process that entails a reformulation of our social system. That is, development involves a change from a retrogressive to a progressive pattern of getting a task done, which means that you move from progressive angle, you move from the retrogressive angle to progressive angle. That is what we mean development. That is, you move from manualization to modernization. That is, you move from manualization to technologically advanced stage of development. Therefore, development can be seen as in institutions, structures, and the orientations of a people. From the above position, it is evident that development cannot be measured only in terms of economy. You cannot measure development from the economic point view only. So if you are measuring development from economic point view only, it means that one's definition of development is only concerned with the economy. Therefore, they can say that definition of development is too narrow toward economic only. In this case, it can also be measured in private realm. That is, development can be measured in private realm. For Walter Rodney, 1972, he defined development as a process in which it always meant the increase in the ability to guard the independence of the social group and indeed infringe upon the freedom of others. Something that often came about irrespective of the will of the persons within the society involved. According to Udabwa, 1999, development can be conceived as a multi-dimensional process involving the reorganization and reorientation of entire economic and social system. It typically involves radical change in institutional, social, and administrative structures, as well as in popular attitude and in many cases customs, and belief. In this case, we have been able to see development from various scholarly point of view, and also in addition to what we have said about the conceptualization of our development. According to Darrow, 1986, development is mostly conceptualized within the context of nationalism. Its widespread realization may necessitate fundamental modifications of the international economic social system as well. Now, having discussed meaningfully about development, let us go to the opposite of development, which is underdevelopment. Because there's no way we can talk about development without talking about underdevelopment, so that we know the impact of the two on the society. The meaning of underdevelopment, that is, the resource are not, that is, when the resources are not used to their full socio-economic potential, with the result that local or regional development is lower in most cases than it should be. Clarity in the definition of the concept of development paves the way for comprehensive understanding of the concept of underdevelopment, which is specifically important for this study. The concept of underdevelopment does not imply states that lack any form of development. Rather, it entails that a state or region has the capacities needed for a social, political, and economic development, but cannot claim to be developed. For example, when we are talking of underdevelopment, in comparison, a particular country that is regarded underdeveloped, when compared with the other, you appreciate that such aforethought country is not underdeveloped or developed. For example, when we compare Nigeria and Benin Republic, you will now discover that Nigeria is developed compared to Benin Republic. But when you compare Nigeria and the United States of America, you will now know that Nigeria is underdeveloped while United States is developed. That is in comparison. According to Walter Rodney, every people have developed in one way or another, and to greater or lesser extent. For us to fully understand the meaning of underdevelopment is by drawing comparison, like what I actually said, on the extent of development. Underdevelopment can also become meaningful when the economic condition of a state in a given period is compared. For instance, in order to grasp the level of underdevelopment in Nigeria, we will have to compare Nigeria with another country or compare the economy of Nigeria in different epochs. That is Rodney, 1972, page 21. So I think you understand the multi-phenomenon, viewpoint of development, especially in comparison with, other country. And also, it is said that to be tagged and underdeveloped entails that the socio-cultural and economic resources which a country possesses has not been fully harnessed or utilized. This is against feature of developed countries that fully utilized their human and material resources for maximum benefit. Therefore, underdevelopment becomes meaningful when levels of development between countries are equal. And finally, Rodney also advanced a unique conceptualization of the concept of underdevelopment, what he termed modern underdevelopment. According to him, it expresses the relationship of exploitation, namely the exploitation of one country by another. All of the countries named as underdeveloped in the world are exploited by others, and underdevelopment with which the world is now preoccupied is a product of capitalist, imperialist, and colonialist exploitation. African and Asian societies were developing independently until they were taken over directly or indirectly by the capitalist powers. When that happened, exploitation increased and the export of surplus ensued, depriving the societies of the benefit of their natural resources and labor. That is an integral part of underdevelopment in the contemporary sense. So this is what we will have to look into in terms of the general overview of politics of underdevelopment generally, and also the overview of development and underdevelopment, and also from the various viewpoints in which underdevelopment and development have been conceptualized, and also the various scholarly positions in which development is not regarded as underdevelopment is not regarded as total absence of development. So in the next class, we will be talking about the origin of the concept of development. Stay tuned, and also make sure that you listen to this video lecture so that it can guide you in preparing for your forthcoming examination. I wish you the very best in your academic sojourn. Thank you so much.